Spit to the beat. Podcast. It's all about inside the music industry.
Nobody do it better. And welcome to Spit to the Beat podcast. I'm your host, Stacy, aka Be Unstoppable Prayer. And I got a very great, nice live interview show lined up for you right now. But I want need y'all to go to my Facebook page, log in right now. We are live on Stacy Be Unstoppable Prayer and Stacy Spit to the Beat Prayer. Also, go to my YouTube channel, subscribe, like, and hit that notification bell. I really will appreciate it. Thank you to all my sponsors and my followers. Look, let's get it going. Let's get it going. Let's get it going. Today, joining me all the way. He's in LA now. I thought he was in Houston, but he's in LA. A very special guest. You may have seen him on the stage play with Tyler Perry, David E. Talbot, or also in the movie theater doing his thing. But today he's joining me on Spit to the Beat podcast. I'm gonna bring him in, my friend today, Andre Pitre. There we go. Hey,
how you doing, man? It's great to be here. Shout out
good.
to you and the listeners.
Yeah. Glad to have you, man. How's the weather out there?
Oh, man, it's beautiful until we got some rain coming all next week, which is crazy. Like the song said, it never rains in Southern California. Yeah, okay.
Hey, that's that climate change.
Oh, man, it's ridiculous, man. It's raining like Houston.
Wow,
the rain is coming.
Hey, was you saying something earlier before we came on live? And I learned about when doing mobile detailing, the rain is a blessing. Because it dirt them back up.
Yeah, they love it. But out here they get their cars washed while it's raining. They don't care. So
wow. Hey, that's good. That's good. Look, tell my audience a little bit about yourself.
All right, my name is Andre Pitre, born and raised in Beaumont, Texas. Shout out to everybody in BMT. Graduate of Prairie View A&M University, HBCU, representing. Started singing at the age of 4. I'm the oldest of 3 boys. Mom and dad were married 40 years before my dad passed in 2015. So music has always been in my blood. He started me with music at 4. I started playing baseball at 4, and I just enjoyed it. My middle brother, we're 5 years apart, so I can remember times when I would perform. It started off with my dad playing music. On Sundays he would play gospel music before church, and then R&B and all kind of stuff after church. So I would listen to it. And back then, he had his albums and his 45. So I would sneak and, when he goes to work and play them. And, back then, the old school albums, they had the lyrics on the inside. So I would learn it. And then when he would come home, I would perform it. Then, we had a big family. So on Sundays, my mom always cooked. Everybody came to eat after church. And I would put on the show. And that went from there to singing in the church. And like they say, the rest is history. So
for those that may not know you, you have done some remarkable things in the theater, on stage, and as well as in the movies. The Love in the Nick of Time, produced by David E. Talbot. And you have worked alongside some great artists, actors and stuff like Morris Chestnut, and so many other. How was your experience working with them?
It's amazing, man. Especially that tour. That was one of my first major tours. Working with Morris and Yvonne and David E. Talbot. The whole crew was amazing. 6 months, 2 months of rehearsal before we went out. Just on the road. And what I loved about it is we started our own little basketball team. So in each major city, we would be hooping. Because there was a lot of guys in the cast. So we had our own starting 5, and I think we were in DC. And we was on the other side of the partition. And these guys was like, y'all just gonna hog the court? And me being a competitor that I am, I'm like, hey, you got 5, I got 5. If y'all beat us, then we'll get off. Needless to say, we went undefeated until we got to Atlanta. Them boys was balling out there, man. So we went like 15-1. It was a
Uh-huh.
great time, man, because we were in these major cities. Back then, we did 8 shows a week. So we fly on Sunday, and then we set up Monday. We do shows Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, two Saturday, two Sunday.
Right,
So
right.
it was amazing, great times, great cast, and all of us are still cool to this day.
Yeah, yeah. You work with Miss Alice English or
Yeah,
Jamie
Area
Foxx
English.
show.
Oh man, she was
Yeah.
amazing. She was amazing. Shout out to her.
Did you learn
Learned a
a lot
lot from her. Oh
yeah.
yes, yes, yes. One thing about me, I'm always learning and absorbing
Hmm.
from any situation that I work in. And I share this with a lot of people that want to get in this business. When you're on stage and you're acting or performing, if you don't come out different than how you started, then you didn't put in the work the right
Okay.
way. You should never be the same way. You should never. You should learn something from each project that you do. Because with acting, you're not like, for instance, when you get on stage, unless you're playing Stacy, you're that other character, and
Yeah.
so you embody that. So I learned a lot from them, and she was amazing. From Broadway to TV to films, and I would always have her do that old cheer. I don't know if you remember the movie Wildcats when she was one of the
Yeah, yeah, I
cheerleaders. Man,
remember.
that was a classic, man. So we would laugh and have a good time with
You put on the spot
that.
with that one.
Oh man, yeah, I worked with a lot of greats, man.
That's
Um,
cool. That's cool. Hey, let's
yeah.
talk about the other play that you did with Tyler Perry. How was working with Tyler? So you went from David, then you got on tour with Tyler. How did that come about? The audition and everything.
Well, let me back up. Before I did the David E. Talbot, I did one with Charnel Brown, aka Kimberly Reese, which is my business
Yes.
partner. And
Yeah, I was
that's when
gonna
we
get into
started Try Win Productions. Um, so working with Tyler, it was amazing because I had auditioned for a previous show, but the timing didn't work out. And
it.
so
Mhm.
they called me back to do this one, which was perfect timing because this one was, we shot it, went to DVD. I worked with, Palmer Williams, Patrice Lovely. The rest of the
Yeah,
cast was amazing. And those two are hilarious, Patrice
yes.
and Palmer. And shout out to the rest of the cast, man. We have some incredible singers. Um, Tyler was no nonsense. We get there. If you got to be on your stuff, we had a great cast. So we did what we were supposed to do. And the experience was great. And as I worked, with Tyler and Dave Talbot and some of these other great directors, I was always creating and writing my own stuff. So that's what
Yeah.
led me to, step out on faith and do Changes, which is a play that I did, and I turned it into a movie, which is on Tubi. So I'm excited
Yeah.
about that as well. So
I checked
yeah,
it out the other day. Once I read your bio, I checked it out, man. It's a good movie, good creative, good story line and
appreciate it,
everything
man.
that you put together. So that was awesome,
Yeah,
man. That
thank
you
you.
directed and then uh what's her name?
Charnel,
Chanel.
yeah,
She wrote it kind
yeah,
of.
she wrote it. And
Yeah,
it
man.
was amazing,
Well,
man. That's how we worked together. 20 years in the
y'all
game.
collaboration starting that production company called Try Win. Tell me a
hmm
little bit about that.
So try win it means try until you win. That dash in the middle is the grind.
Okay.
And so we have a full-fledged acting academy in Houston called the Charnel Brown Acting Academy. So if anybody's interested, holler at Shorty. That's what we call each other. We got classes every 6 weeks, and then there's a presentation where you can invite family and friends. All of our students are working. Matter of fact, the young man that played my brother in the
Hmm.
movie, um, he edited the movie as well. So
Okay.
shout out to Kedron, shout out to Marcus Freeman, my AD. So everybody in our production company, not only do they go through and learn the craft, but everybody's working.
That's awesome.
Everybody's working. So I'm excited about that.
Hey, look here. Hold tight for me for a second. We're gonna take a quick break and then we'll come back. We'll get into talking to you about their music. Okay.
Yes, sir.
Cool. Cool. Cool.
You're listening to Spit to the Beat podcast with your host, the one, the only Stacy B. Unstoppable per year.
Hey, this is Stacy, aka Beat Unstoppable Per You with Spit to the Beat podcast. Would you like to be my guest if you're a singer, songwriter, musician, producer, or promoter? Give me a call at 901-341-6777 or email me at myguest@spittothebeat.com. And we're back to Spit to the Beat podcast. I'm your host, Stacy, aka Beat Unstoppable Per You. Joining me all the way from LA is my very special guest. Like I said, we talked earlier about the plays that he did. Now we're going to get into this movie and his music. My brother, Andre Pitre. How you doing, man?
I'm good, boss.
Good
to be here.
good.
Yes, sir.
Look, let's talk about the music, man. You've been singing for a while. You were singing before you started acting or vice versa?
Well, I did them at the same time. I started singing at 4. So when
Was
I
that
perform,
the triple threat?
I'm very theatrical when I perform.
Okay.
Everything is, my grandmother, when I used to sing in church, she would say, boy, you got to loosen up, because I just stand and I'm singing one day at a time, all the church songs. And she was like, we got to feel what you're saying. And so she would play a lot of old school music. And one of my favorites that she would play was Sam Cooke. And so she said, I need you to learn these type of songs because you can't help but feel like Change Gonna Come is one of my favorites.
Yes.
Donny Hathaway, what's the one? I just went blank. A Song for You, For All We Know, all those great songs, man. I love songs that challenge me. So I just always love to sing. I love to entertain. In school, the teachers were like, since you want to be a star, because I would be practicing my autograph, they say, finish your work and we'll allow you to sing. So that was the trade-off. I'd finish my work, be quiet, and on Fridays they would allow me to sing for the students. So I was honing my craft then.
So destiny was upon your life at 4.
Man, God showed me this, man. It's been a journey, and I tell people, man, everybody has their own journey. You have your own lane. Our steps are ordered. So if you focus on what your calling is, God will have people in place for you. And it's not going to be easy because he wants us to always lean on him. So I encourage people just to follow your dreams. Life is short. We don't have time for the nonsense, man, because we're not here long.
That's right.
We're not here long, man.
Look, okay, we're gonna go ahead and get into your song. I Need You. Then we're gonna come back and talk about it a little bit.
Yes, sir.
Hey, sweetie, you got a minute?
Yeah, baby, what's up?
I just want to talk to you about something. I know it won't take long. Just listen. Times when I knew you were gonna leave, you end up coming right back.
Babe, what are you talking about?
Just listen. I know I done did some foolish things, but you got me on the right track.
Okay, so what are you saying? Look, I gotta go.
Listen, girl, you cared for me. You were there for me. You love me unconditionally. You changed me. Believed in me. There's no doubt how I'm feeling, girl, 'cause I need you. 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 I need your love, girl. Having you make me feel like I do.
There it is. Andre, talk about
Yes,
it, baby.
sir.
Talk about it.
Oh man, that song was written and produced by Terrence Rowe, aka Traction, out in Miami. Boys, he's amazing, man. I got 5 more that he's doing that we already finished for the album. The album will be dropping in March. You know, you get a sneak. How can I say sneak peek? Are you the first to know really? Because we just decided we was gonna drop it a couple of days ago. So sometime in
Appreciate
March, I'm gonna do my first album release party here in LA. Then I'm gonna go to Houston, Atlanta, so forth and so on. So I'm excited, man.
What about Memphis?
I come to Memphis too, man. I love it. I need some of that barbecue anyway.
Yeah, yeah. Well, when you come to Memphis, you look me up. I'll take you to the right spot.
Yeah, yeah. Because I know the right spot is, it's off the beaten path. It ain't where
Exactly.
everybody think it is. So that's some of the best food at somebody's house in the backyard.
Right, right, right. So this not your first album. Have you done other songs prior to
Oh
this?
yeah, I've done a lot of stuff, man.
Mhm.
It's all been independent. I had a deal years ago when I first came to LA, and I just learned a lot about the business. You know, anybody can dump money into a project, but you have to get out there and work it. And I've always been creative, and I don't like sitting back waiting. So I create, I invest into myself. That's where the mobile detailing comes in even more now because the more cars I
Okay.
wash, the more I can invest into what I'm doing. So
And I'm sure
yeah,
you
I got.
watching some nice cars out there.
Oh man, I love it, man. I love it. I love what I
Yeah,
do. I enjoy it because it's
that's
therapy
awesome.
for me. So
Okay, cool. Let's talk about the community service. You were talking about helping out the kids and stuff like that. How did that develop and become a passion for you to, you know, fulfill that dream?
well, I credit all that to my dad. My dad coached in the community. He coached baseball for over 20 some years. So, like I told you in the beginning, baseball was the first thing that I knew, baseball and music, because he was already coaching, and I just have a knack for it. When I moved to LA, I was coaching, working after school programs, I was running summer camps. I just love helping the youth. Somebody looked out for us. So it's our job as men, especially black men. These young boys need that proper leadership, and it doesn't matter where you come from, what walk of life. Every young man, every young person needs someone because they look up to us, man. I don't care what we do; they look up to what. So it's our job to do that. So I enjoy it, and that's how Buddy's Mobile got started. I was working at, I would have to cook for the young men every night. Um, and then we would sit and break bread at the table. And I would ask them, like, what do y'all want to do? And I was like, what can I create? And I enjoy washing cars. And again, like I shared, my dad had just passed in 2015. So I wanted to honor him. So that was one way of getting started. And just taking off from there. So,
So what ages you work with in a particular
oh
ages?
man, it was from elementary all the way up to young adults.
To high school?
Um, yeah, even beyond college as well. I created a show last year called The Black Man that I'm doing, and we debuted in Houston in March, and then I just brought it here in October, and I play 7 different characters where I sit down with a therapist and I do a Q&A afterwards. And it's
It's
been
a
going
one
over
man
well.
show.
Yeah, it's a one-man show.
Okay.
And from that, I created a podcast called the Black Man Podcast.
Okay.
That's on YouTube that you can subscribe to as well. So,
I will do that.
yeah, I just want to do my part, man, as a black man. And I created something as a safe place for us to talk without being judged, because we're being portrayed so many negative ways in the media, but it's a lot of us doing some positive stuff, a lot
Right.
of stuff. But they only show the negative, but it's our job, and you doing a great job as well, highlighting positive black stuff,
It's
because at the end,
just like gossip, man. It get more
yeah,
attention than positive
hmm
information. So,
yeah,
that's just the way we are as a society, feed off
hmm
the negative of social media more so. It get more likes, more views than some positive being done. And you forget all about it.
hmm
Is there some good people in this world or not? because you're looking at so much negative.
But like they say, man, the good will always rise to the top, man. Always.
It's like
God
the
shines
queen.
on the yeah, we coming. We have to just keep doing what we're doing and not focus on that. That's what I say about everybody staying in their lane. When you stay in your lane, and if you know anything about track, you get disqualified when you step out of the line.
Right.
But if you in your lane, you don't see all of that. So
Yeah.
I try to stay in my lane and do me.
There you
I
go.
got enough on my hands doing me. So
Yeah, I read your bio. You got a lot going on, brother. I mean, like they call you the triple threat, right?
yeah, man. I added quadruple now. So sing,
Ooh-wee.
act, direct. Now I'm getting ready to, somebody asked me to come and speak, doing public speaking because
Yeah,
I love to encourage and, especially with coaching, man. I just love, coaching the youth and just motivating somebody and telling my story. Because again, we are blessed to be a blessing to others.
correct,
That's our
correct.
job. That's our job.
Hold tight one more time. We'll take another little quick break. I'm gonna come right back.
Yes, sir.
Hey, this is Stacy, aka Be Unstoppable Per You. Thank you for listening to our show, Spit to the Beat Podcast. If you would like to be a sponsor, visit our website at www.spittothebeat.com and click the support tab and leave a donation. We really will appreciate it. Thank you again for listening. Also, catch every episode Thursday morning at 8 a.m. And we're back to Spit to the Beat podcast. I'm your host, Stacey, aka Be Unstoppable Per You, and joining me virtually in the studio, all the way from LA, is brother Andre Pitre. Thank you again, man, for coming on the show. I really do appreciate the information that you have shared, not only with me, but with my audience, and teaching them a little bit behind the scene, how things work in the theater business, as well as the complete entertainment and along with your music as well. So, man,
Hmm.
you definitely have a lot going on. One thing else before we go, could you give me a little more advice to my up and coming artists, singers, actors, actresses that want to get into the industry, but try to avoid some of those pitfalls? You talked a little bit about it earlier. You touched on about
Hmm.
working hard. So, what else could you share that may be valuable for them?
Just stay true to who you are. Stay
Mhm.
true. Everybody has everybody has their season, but you have to put in the work. You got to really sacrifice because no one is going to give you anything. And if they do, that means they're going to control how you do it. But the more work and the more you bring to the table, the less control they're going to have. So work in the dark. Like when you're hurting and something is going, like for me, I take losses and downfalls and I use it as a positive. Stay creative, stay true to who you are, and tell your story. Can't no one tell your story but you. That's the great thing about entertainment. Everybody has a story, and everybody has something in them that can bless someone else. So just stay true, work hard, don't settle, don't allow anyone to take advantage of you and tell you who you are. God created us all in his likeness. So
Right.
we winning from the jump. We're all kings and queens. So that's how you have to look at yourself. Don't worry about if somebody likes or dislikes or don't comment on your page or we got to get off of that, man.
Yeah.
Because it's a lot of people get discouraged from if nobody likes this or whatever. But all it takes is one
One.
yes. And if you're doing it for the money, you're gonna stay frustrated. You have to do it for the love. I love what I do.
There
So if
you
you do
go.
it for the love, it's gonna take care of itself. Because your talent will speak for itself.
There you
So
go.
I just say that. Just be a blessing, man. Be a blessing. Make every second count. Because once God calls us home, that's it.
That's it.
Life
That's
goes
it.
on, man. So
Assignment is up.
yeah, yeah. We all have an assignment. So do your job to the best of your ability.
Awesome. I want to thank you again for being on Spit to the Beat podcast. Look, how can the people find you on the social media platforms?
So Andre Pitre 13, and that's Pitre, the number 13 on social media. Well, what is that? IG. On YouTube, Andre Pitre 1. Subscribe. I have a podcast, the Black Man Podcast. I have a Black Man podcast IG. I have Try Win Music IG, but the main thing is Andre Pitre 13. So I want to thank everyone for the support that you've been giving me, and look forward to more great things coming, especially with the album. It's titled The Evolution. I'm excited. Stacey, again, I appreciate you, man, and congrats to everything you doing. Keep being a light, keep being a positive Black man in this world. I pray that
Thank
God
you.
covers you and your family and whatever
Thank
you're
you.
doing, man. Keep it up.
Thank
And I'll be there for that barbecue because I
Most
love to
definitely.
eat, man.
All right. Look, hold tight as I close out the show, man.
Yes, sir.
Thank you for watching Spit to the Beat podcast. Join again next week for another live episode.